ever failed? I mean, have you ever fallen flat on your face? No? Then you've never tried anything.
I failed 18 times just trying to pronounce Pablo Fonseca. Did I say that right? Fonseca? Anyway.
This is the Big Fail Podcast. It's about business, but we focus on failure. We interview successful business leaders, and we talk to them about how they overcame, what they learned, and how it paved the way to their success. You have to embrace failure to take risks. The Big Fail, sponsored by 1-800-BIZ-BROKER. Here's your host, Pablo Fonseca.
I got it right that time.
Hello, everyone. This is Pablo Fonseca, and I want to welcome you to The Big Fail. Actually, this is the first podcast, the first episode of The Big Fail, and I'm very, very happy to introduce that. I have the very successful entrepreneur, queen of social media, Jessica Qattawi with me today. How are you doing, Jessica?
Yes. Hey, Pablo. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm glad. I'm excited because it's the first time that I'm ever doing something like this, and I'm glad that you're here to experience it. But I really want people to learn a lot about you and about business, and I want them to take away something from listening to us. As people, as you know, it's called The Big Fail, but obviously it's not about failing, it's about actually success. Because as I mentioned earlier to you, you can't really succeed at anything without really trying and probably failing a few times along the way. Yeah. So why don't we just get started by just introducing yourself and telling me a little bit about you and your business and how you ended up in the basement of the Riverside Podcast Studios.
Right, I know. So, hey, everybody. I'm Jessica Qattawi, also known as Jessica Q. I guess you could say a social media influencer locally here in the Inland Empire. So I actually, I am the CEO and founder of NV Media. I am a partner at Papa Joe's Sports Bar. I'm also the CEO, founder of InstaFun. And just recently, I am on-air personality with Hot 103.9, doing a weekly segment every Thursday, talking about all the hot-tivities, so activities going on in the Inland Empire.
Wow, you're really busy then.
Yeah, I don't have kids, so I have time for this.
Interesting. Well, tell me, I mean, obviously, I see you on Facebook. You know, I stalk you on Facebook a little bit, and I've seen you in Machu Picchu, and I've seen you in, I think, in Asia.
Yeah, I was in Thailand.
But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about when you, when you were failing at some point, or you were afraid to try to get into business for yourself, or maybe, I don't know, there was a time where you couldn't pay the payroll, you were behind on your taxes, you were on the streets, with heroin needles in your arm. I want to know about when you really got to the bottom of where, before you got to where you are today. Obviously, I know you don't do heroin. That was a joke.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't know. No, thank you. So I was thinking about this, and I'm like, what am I going to talk about? What is something interesting that people can connect with? And I've been through a lot. I've been on my own since I was 17 years old.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of people see me, they look at me, and they think, oh, that girl, her parents probably take care of her. Oh, that car she drives, her dad probably bought it for her. But that's not true. Everything I have, I worked hard for it. Everything. And so, there's a few things, failures or, things I had to overcome throughout my life. And when you talk about not having, living on the streets.
Right.
So when I was 17, I was on my own. My mom, moved to Mexico. My dad and I didn't meet eye to eye about who I was going to be and what goals I had set for myself. I think my dad rather have had me get married and not worry about me.
Right.
But I didn't see that for myself. I knew that I wanted more. I wanted to conquer everything.
So how did you, when you say you went on your own, did you you had to go out and find a job, obviously?
Yeah.
And what? Tell me about that.
Oh my goodness, jobs.
Your first job, or a list of jobs.
A list of jobs, I would say. Those are probably my first failures that I had to, just learn from. So at 17, I had 3 jobs.
3 jobs. Wow.
Yeah, I remember I was working at a car wash. I was working in the mall. I even got a job at Chuck E. Cheese. I wore the mask, the whole costume.
You were the
one
rat?
time. I was a rat, but only for literally 10 minutes because I went to go hug a little kid and I forgot that the nose was so big and I bumped him, knocked him down. I'm like, okay, I need to get out of this costume.
That's hilarious. My little brother, I remember we were at Chuck E. Cheese once. My little brother was chasing him and yanked his tail away a few times, and I think he ran away. And then later on, we went to Chuck E. Cheese, and I noticed that they're all tied up now, so you couldn't yank his tail anymore.
Yeah, no more tail yanking.
No more, yeah, exactly. So after you, how did you get into media and advertising? Tell me about that.
Well, funny story. So I've always been an entrepreneur since I was really young. At 5 years old, I was selling crackers to my neighbors so I could buy ice cream because I don't want to ask my grandma for money. So I'd go get whatever we had in the pantry, go sell them to the neighbors until I had enough. And I even remember going, oh, the neighbor would open the door. Oh, you're so cute. What do you want? Oh, would you like to buy some crackers? How much? $1. And she'd be like, oh, that's too much. Okay, 25 cents. I was already negotiating.
You didn't make the sale.
Yeah, I needed to get the sale. I needed to get that ice cream,
Right.
So, I just, it's been crazy. It's been a wild ride, but today it's been well worth it. And
Absolutely. I was thinking about what you do for a living, and if you don't perform for your client, they're going to fire you, right?
Yeah.
So there's a tremendous amount of stress for you to be creative and coming up with new ideas so that they can become successful and get their name out there. I mean, how do you cope with that, or how do you deal with that?
Well, everybody's different. So every client is different, their needs, their wants, the way that they look at an advertising agent. And for me, it's all about my intention and what my intentions are and what I'm going to do. And my intentions with all my clients are always to go 110% to help them, to help them grow their businesses, for them to take it to the next level. Because I know that if they take it to the next level, I'll go to the next level as well.
Have you ever helped a business that they themselves were on the brink of disaster, and that if you or somebody else didn't come in and help them out, they might be out of business, or
They would have shut down.
they would have shut down
Or sold.
Exactly.
Yes, actually, I have a story. Before I started NV Media, I used to work at the radio station. I worked at Cola and K-Cow.
Okay.
And I've always been really active on social media, from MySpace days to Facebook. And a couple of my clients had seen what I was doing. And one of them, Pepito's Mexican restaurant, asked me.
On Magnolia?
Yes, Magnolia, that's the one. So he asked me if I could help him with his social media marketing and to help him sell his restaurant.
Oh, wow.
So he's like, well, help me do this marketing. And then also, do you know anybody that wants to buy a restaurant? Because he was done. He didn't want to, continue anymore. But I came in and I started doing the social media marketing. He was my very first paying client. And I started, doing what I do. And now he actually has 2 locations. He has a food truck, and I do believe he's working on a 3rd.
Oh, awesome.
So
Is he still your client?
he's still my client.
So how many years have you had him now as a client? That's
7 years.
wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And do you have any other clients you've had long term like that? That you obviously are, again, you know what you're doing. You've helped them succeed. How many clients do you have in your agency right now?
Well, we have, I want to say, about 80 clients overall, and some are seasonal. So some come and go, and we have government agencies, we have restaurants, we have car washes, dealerships, and some, come and go, so.
You mentioned a couple of other businesses you're involved in. I mean, how do you deal with time for yourself, for your family, relationships, your health? I mean, what do you do to make sure you're in tip-top performance to do all this stuff? Because it takes a lot of energy to first of all, just run business, then running 2 or 3 businesses.
Well, I love business. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. It's just something I enjoy. I have fun doing it. But, when it comes to health and everything, that's a really great question. I wake up at 4 a.m. I go to the gym.
4 a.m.
I go hiking. I mean, I get something in first thing in the morning. I think it's so important that we refresh ourselves for the day. I just want to detox, physically and mentally as well.
Right. And for people that are listening out there, I want this podcast to inspire people to either start their own business and move out beyond their comfort zone and chase their dreams. What's some advice you would give to aspiring entrepreneurs?
Take a chance. Believe in yourself. Anything that you could imagine, you could make happen. But it takes your time and your effort to make it happen.
It's got to work, right?
Yeah.
Tell me what motivates you, like in the morning, to get up at 4 in the morning. Because I know I tried, my alarm is set for 6, and I hit the snooze button 3 or 4 times before I get up.
Most people do.
How do you get yourself out of the morning at 4?
I have really big dreams. I have really huge goals, and I'm not even close to where I want to be right now. So that's what drives me.
So you mentioned goals. Do you write them down every year? You just said a new year now. What are your goals for this year?
Well, for this year?
Personally and for professionally.
Personally, hopefully meet somebody nice, because I'm super single. Just throw that out there. No, I'm just kidding.
You hear that? Jessica is looking for a boyfriend.
Jessica Q is single. That's so funny. But I guess with NV Media, I'm looking to expand to more areas. Right now, we've pretty much conquered the IE. I'm looking to expand to some other areas, possibly, Las Vegas. That's where my family lives. So it'll give me opportunity to spend more time with my family.
That's a big market, Las Vegas, for media. I mean,
a lot of opportunity.
Absolutely. And how many do you have on staff now?
I've got 7.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty good. Someone's trying to ask a question probably on media.
Okay.
What do you think? Do you see yourself as your long-term goal, like success? What is the end goal for you, like right now?
Well, let me start with what I'm passionate about.
Okay.
And so I'm very passionate about business, and I'm passionate about helping people. So the industry I'm in with the advertising agency with NV Media, it allows me to help people. Okay. I work with tons of local small businesses that just, they've got their kids. Have you ever seen that post on Facebook? And it says, when you shop at a local small store, you're actually helping pay for a little girl's dance lessons or a boy's, soccer uniform. And I feel that the people that I work with, I'm able to bring that to them. I have a huge connection with, the local community, and I'm able to highlight these local businesses that deserve the recognition, but probably don't know how to get it without help.
From a media expert.
Exactly.
If I wanted to start a business, say I wanted to start a restaurant, what would you tell me are the first things I should think about as far as marketing? Don't start a restaurant.
Don't start a restaurant. No, it's good. If you are going to start a restaurant, you want to make sure that you have a good product, good food, good idea behind how is this restaurant going to be. And it can't be like everybody else's restaurants. It's got to stand out.
But some of the best foods are from the smallest little hole-in-the-wall places you can think of. And a lot of them are just surviving month to month just to pay the bills, pay workers' comp, pay payroll tax, and yet you drive down the street sometimes and you see the biggest crowds over here at some of these big giant corporate restaurants, which I try to avoid. But how do you compete with that?
Yeah, it's the way that you market it, the way that you tell your story, the way you present yourself, and then it comes down to your staff as well. Making sure you have excellent customer service, the food is always on point, that the ambiance is just appealing and welcoming, and it makes you want to come back. So you don't just because you start a small little restaurant, it's not about the the name, I guess. It's about who you are and what you do and what you put out there, and then people start coming in. So I work with a lot of clients, and I always tell them this is a team effort. My team and your team, we're going to become one team, and my team's job is to bring people into your location. Your team's job is to make those people happy and make sure that they come back.
Right.
But if there's a disconnect between us and them, then our efforts go to waste. So, if anybody ever tells me, oh, that didn't work, I go, well, let's look at your Yelp reviews. You know what I mean? Do you have good Yelp reviews? And a lot of times that's what it is. It's that their people aren't treating the customers right. The food is not coming out right.
Or consistently, right?
Yeah, and some people are okay with hearing that. Some of the clients are like, okay, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to work on this. And some, you'd be so surprised, they get defensive.
I can see that. I mean, because you're talking bad about their product and their own what they create. So
and I don't want to say like talking bad. It's more of like opening their eyes to what's really happening, so they can fix it.
Constructive criticism.
Exactly.
You need somebody from the outside looking at to see what your faults and also what you're good at as well. I think.
Yeah.
You mentioned about you have 7 employees. Can you talk about the pitfalls of having employees? Sometimes when you're a lone entrepreneur out there, you can only get so far. But I do believe that to truly get, grow and big, you need to have people with you to support you.
You have to have a really
Can't
good
do
team.
everything, right?
You
do
can't.
everything.
So that's actually that's a funny question for me, because when I started Envy Media the first year, I only had one person that really came in and helped me, and then after that I was like, okay, I'm ready. I need to start building my team, because I started growing pretty quickly. Now, I've never had employees before, and I really didn't know how to deal with it. And I like that I didn't know, and I kind of just learned on my own, and I grew each day by dealing with them. And, some of the obstacles with employees is that, are they actually doing the work? Are they doing it right? Are they wasting time? Are they passionate about what they're doing? Because that to me is really important. I'm passionate about what I do, so I do it. I love it. I don't feel like it's a job.
Right. So you don't want to be behind their back all day. You want people that are passionate about what they're doing, so that you give them a goal and they go do it.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of people you need to find when you're
hiring. Yeah. And then, over time, when I first started having employees, I handled the situations a little bit differently than I do now. I've actually read a lot of articles about, business in Europe and how they have 4-day work weeks, or, you know what I mean? So I've actually created in my office a culture that everybody feels comfortable. We have a couch in our office. So if you're working and you want to just grab the iPad and go sit on the couch, you can.
That's cool.
We have a TV. You can put a movie on. You can play some music, whatever it is. I want everybody to feel at home when they're there and they're comfortable.
And they stay and work 10 hours a day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, nobody really does that. But,
no, right.
But my office manager, though, she's amazing. I will say, like, sometimes she'll text me in the evening and, something work-related. And I so appreciate her, because she's going to be one of the reasons why we are going to even go to another level. Yeah, and a new market, exactly.
So do you have a plan already laid out for how you're going to approach this new market?
Yes. I do.
Is it a secret, or can you talk a little bit about that?
Actually, I wouldn't mind talking about it a little bit, because it's pretty exciting. Okay. And I'm hoping that it will be out by March, latest April, but I am currently working on it. It was an idea that I came up with. So I'm an innovator.
Okay.
I like to come up with ideas that nobody's ever done, or to, fix a problem. I come up with solutions. Advertising is changing.
Absolutely.
And millennials are changing it. They don't want to be sold. And, so they've changed business and the way you have to market. A lot of people are still doing the same old.
Right.
Not me. So what I'm doing is I created this new, what would I call it? Like a marketing campaign called Tour de Grub. So you guys can actually go to tourdegrub.com and check it out. The website's still being built.
Okay.
But it's there. You can kind of get an idea of what it is. But it's a fun, interactive food tour.
Okay.
And basically what we do is we're going to go to 15 restaurants in an area. So first we're going to do Inland Empire. Then next it'll be Vegas.
Okay.
And then a couple more cities after that. But we invite people to come down, get a discount on food, hang out. We'll do a live. We'll do some videos for them. And we'll create a campaign on social media to invite people to come down that day.
You mean business owners? You're talking about inviting business owners, or the
restaurants? So it's restaurants, right? It's a food tour. So we're going to restaurants,
right?
And then we're going to invite the local people,
okay.
to come down. So obviously I'm going to be doing some targeting, marketing, all that good stuff that I do.
Gotcha.
And you say, okay, well, why would they want to go? Well, they're going to want to go because they're going to get a discount. We're going to create a deal with the restaurant saying, okay, we need your 3 top items that you want everybody to try, but we want them for a discounted price that day.
So you're going to focus on restaurants as you move.
We're going to initially start with restaurants, yeah, because that's our specialty, social media marketing, and everybody has to eat, right?
Right.
2, 3, 4 times a day. Right. So when somebody sees food on their social media, they get hungry and they want to go eat.
Right.
So yeah.
No, I think that's a great way to approach a new market because there's going to be tons of restaurants there already, and you can just see who's advertising and who's not, and who I think it's really smart.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you if you can share some overwhelming wisdom that you've learned over the course of your life that might benefit some of the people listening right now.
Yes. So I've experienced a lot of pushback from people.
What do you mean
kind
pushback?
of like blocking me from going to my next level, to my next step. And when I was younger, I would cry. Right. I was young. I didn't understand. As I got older, I realized so I wrote it down. I was like, no one can hold you down. Only you can.
Except for yourself, right?
Or you can lift yourself up, right? And just because somebody has an opportunity and you want it and they won't give it to you, you can go create your own opportunities. And a lot of people don't realize that.
Absolutely.
So I was hosting a TV show for a little while. I'm not hosting it anymore. But it comes down to, I think that there was some emotional thing that was happening, and because I wasn't giving that back, I'm not there anymore. You know what I mean? And does that make sense?
That makes sense. It's kind of like you're saying, there's always going to be negative people out there. There's people that are going to say your idea is dumb, it's never going to work, or, and you want to surround yourself with positive people. And if you're going a way that you encounter negativity, you can always change direction and go around or go a different direction. Or
So I started my own show. So now I have Envy Live that we do every Friday, 10 a.m.
I've seen that actually.
With my team. Yeah. We go, today we were at the IE 66ers Stadium in San Bernardino. Right. We got to interview the promotions director and we shot our show there.
Again,
awesome.
How do you have so much time? You're all over the place.
I have a lot of energy. Yeah, thank God. I'm on knock on wood.
Well, that's awesome. Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you wish I would have asked you? Because this is my first podcast. This is actually one of my first interviews that I've ever conducted, and I'm trying to get better at this. And then, what do you think I should ask my next person that comes up here? Or just you, specifically you.
Something to ask me.
Yeah. What would you have wished I asked you that I didn't ask you?
Let me see. I'm gonna look at the questions that you sent me because I don't think you asked me all these questions.
No, I didn't. I kind of didn't go off the questions. I was like,
yeah, you kind of jumped around, which was cool. No, I liked it. It was a little bit more fun and exciting. Maybe just
I have a question.
Yeah.
Going back to your 17-year-old self, when you said you went through a tough time.
Yeah.
Knowing what you know now, what would you tell yourself then that you think would have made it easier for you? Or
everything happens for a reason. Stay positive. Keep moving forward. Everything's going to be okay.
I like that. Everything's going to be okay. All right, Jessica, I really want to thank you for coming on my show today. I really enjoyed it. I want to thank anybody that's listening now. I think this is fun. Hopefully we get better at this.
Yeah.
And I just thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad to be part of your very first show too.
You're welcome. And again, also, I want to thank Steve from Riverside Podcast Studios. You can check him out on riversidepodcast.com. And of course, my company, 1-800-BizBroker, was a sponsor of this podcast. And everybody out there that's listening to us, we'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Yeah. I want to plug some things too.
Sorry,
yeah, absolutely.
sorry.
Oh my goodness.
I got excited in mine.
No, it's okay. So if you guys need some help with your advertising and marketing, you can find us online, nv.media. That's right. It's not a .com. It's a .media. So www.nv.media. Come down and check me out at Papa Joe's Sports Bar. Awesome place to hang out and watch sports, especially the big game this Sunday.
Oh, it's going to be big for you guys.
It's going to be huge. And
you have any specials for Super Bowl?
yes, we do. Actually, the Bud Girls are gonna be there, and we're gonna have some food and drink specials. I'm not gonna announce them yet, but there are gonna be some really great specials.
Are you going for the 49ers or the Kansas City?
I go for the drinks.
I thought you were going to say the commercials.
Oh, no. Oh, that's too. Yeah, actually, I'm in advertising. I do love the commercials. Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then I just want to shout out Hot 103.9 for the opportunity to be on their show. So it's Santiago and Kim Martinez. Thank you guys. So make sure you guys tune in every Thursday at 6 p.m. Hot 103.9 FM. If you are not in the area, you can also download the app and tune in from there. So Hot 103.9. And last but not least, instafun.com, your one-stop shop for fun.
What's InstaFun? You didn't mention that earlier.
Oh, InstaFun, this is a new idea that I came up with about 7 months ago and started it.
Okay.
And InstaFun is basically events, local events. So if you're a business, you're a restaurant, and you have a slow day, you contact me, say, hey, I want to book a paint and sip. I want to book a belly dance and sip. I want to do, a speed dating event. Okay. And so, we've got all these events going on right now. Yeah. So instafun.com, you can find all our events. Or if you're a business that wants to host events, you can also contact me through there.
Cool. Again, Jessica, thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. Steve, thanks a lot for producing.
Yes, thank
Again,
you.
riversidepodcast.com, right?
Yeah,
Steve?
that's it. Yeah, we're currently booking.
And please like our page, Big Fail Podcast on Facebook, and you can also check us out on bigfail.biz, bigfail.biz. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
You've been listening to The Big Fail. Failure should be our teacher, not our undertaker. Failure is delay, not defeat. It's a temporary detour, not a dead end. We hope you've gained some killer insight from this podcast. Until next time, reach out on Facebook at Big Fail Podcast and visit our website at www.bigfail.biz. Never let success get to your head. Never let failure get to your heart. This is The Big Fail, signing off.